First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
John Zielinski was someone who ran for office. He ran against Marianne Buttonshaw, if you recall.
For
we had him on the air for his run for assembly. He's been doing a little investigative reporting and wants to report on that here this morning. John, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Okay, tell me what you've done and what you've discovered out there. And by the way, can we do this without giving the location yet? I don't want to give the location because we're going to dig into this story, and if it turns out to be not true, I don't want to cause any harm to a business that is operating right now. So
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, somewhere in the town of Marcy, we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I was walking my
such
dog.
a big town. It's such a large town. We'll have no chance to narrow it down here at this point.
No, I was walking my dogs.
Yes. Okay.
And as you know, there's a lot of agricultural land in the town of Marcy, so there's a lot of that. And I noticed 2 days in a row what appeared to be illegal workers working in the fields, and they were there 2 days and then they disappeared. They just brought in for a couple days to do some field type of work, as far as you know, not picking obviously yet, but just cultivating and weeding and such. And I just thought that it was very, very peculiar.
How do you know they're?
That's what I want to know.
How do you know they're illegal workers?
I didn't. I said that they appeared to be by their demeanor, by their dress, and I sent. Actually, I did inform Marianne Buttonshaw last Friday.
Okay, all right,
and asked her to look into it. And,
what did she say to you? What did she say?
It was an email. I did not yet received a response.
So you even went so far as to take pictures, right? You have like grassy knoll type pictures, I believe you've taken.
Well, not grassy knoll; they're a little closer, but yes, I did.
Okay,
I sent them to you, and I sent them to Marianne Buttonshaw as well as to Claudia Tenney.
Did you? Did you? Let me ask you. Did any of them see you taking the photos?
I am not sure.
Okay, all right. Monaski, you look like you're contemplating over there.
Yeah, well, I'm just curious. You said based on the dress and what? I guess I don't quite understand how you came to that conclusion. Is it just because they look like they're not white?
No, not at all.
Well, what do they look? What tees you off to be like that is an illegal alien? What features? It might be.
Again,
what leads you to believe that it might be an illegal worker?
Because you typically don't see people tilling the fields around here. It's normally usually mechanical.
I see.
Whether it's corn, whether it's beans, whether it's even strawberries. They just look like what you would say your typical field type of worker.
Got it.
With the long sleeves, although it's hot. Hats on, though there's no sun.
Okay.
I didn't know that it was.
Is the long?
I didn't know that it was uncommon though for migrant. If indeed this is the case that these are migrant workers.
Yeah.
I thought that was.
I'd like to get back to the long sleeve thing because I'm really curious.
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
But
me
go
too.
ahead.
But I thought it was pretty common for migrant workers to be used sometimes, and that it's.
As a matter of fact.
Sure. I'm not. Look. You know what's funny? You were talking about tolerance before.
Mm-hmm.
And I have opinions about enforcing our laws, which I believe we should enforce, especially on immigration. Well, not especially, but I grew up in a farming community in Westmoreland where back in the day you had literally hundreds of seasonal workers pass through.
Yeah.
They went to our schools. They sat next to us in our classrooms. Some even played on athletic teams, depending how long they were there.
Yeah.
And there was absolutely no problem because you knew back then, aging myself in the 50s and 60s, that they were legal.
Right.
That's all it's about.
But now you feel that they are illegal. I have to tell you, have you ever run a business?
Yes.
So you know that it's not very. It becomes, if you're going to start paying people, they would have to be paying them under the table, right? If they're illegal.
the predication is yes, if.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. If they were illegal. I have to tell you, I also know of a story where I know of a person that was paid under the table, and she was an illegal alien that was working in our area, and she was working under the table. She had to be paid cash because she couldn't take a check because she didn't have a Social Security number. She didn't have any green papers or whatever you need in order to work. But no one had a problem with it because she was from Australia, and she was no one cared. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Right? Nobody cared about it. No one cared,
and
because she was.
This is not a where you come from issue.
Right. Right.
This is because the illegal immigration costs our country and our communities billions of dollars a year in benefits and education and health care, because the courts, rightly or wrongly, have ruled that you cannot make citizenship a requirement for those benefits, for social service programs.
Yep. Okay.
And it's killing us. Look at our deficit. Need I say more? Look at our state deficit. I mean, they're sitting fat in Albany now, acting like they're fiscally responsible because they got billions from the federal government.
So, do you feel that that's what's killing the economy?
I think it is a portion of it.
Yeah, all right.
Because it generates the higher taxes necessary to support it.
Okay. And then the other part of this is the belief that how you wonder that they might be illegal aliens. We don't know, and we will look into it. But because no one else would do that job, right? Who else would? Normally they use a machine to do it. Nobody else, no other person would end up doing it. I'm almost out of time. But John, I promise you, we will look into this, and then when we come up with the answer, will you come back on with us?
Sure.
All right.
And you know what? You know what the answer is to the no one else will do the job?
Go ahead. Yep.
You have to come to the realization that you have to pay for what the work.
You got to pay. You're right. If you pay for it, maybe they will.